Sean Penn said that he would like melt down his 2 Oscars. I think he's gotten multiple, right? In protest if the Academy did not ask Zelensky to speak. Thinks he, I don't know. He might have some other things going on. I just a thought experiment there, but I don't really know what this Sean Penn turn has been. Here he is on Sean Hannity's program. He's either Carmen San Diego going over all over the world and solving mysteries, like interviewing El Chapo, or maybe he's some sort of CIA asset. It's unclear at this point. Here he is on Sean Hannity's program talking about the Russia-Ukraine war, the invasion of Ukraine, and Hannity is speaking to him for some reason, gives his thoughts on what should be done with Vladimir Putin, because people need to be held accountable if you invade a sovereign country without pretext.
There or in Chicago, for that matter.
Anywhere. I don't want to see it, and we can fix all these problems if we have the will and desire to, I believe. We're the greatest country on earth. And I think the Ukrainians will win. Western Europe and America needs to supply them with the weaponry to win. And if they do, they'll be defeating, in my view, evil in our time. And that's following the Reagan doctrine and, frankly, the Trump doctrine, even though you don't care about doctrines. You know what the Hannity doctrine is? I'll give it to you quick. If you invade a sovereign country, you forfeit your right to lead a country, and you forfeit your right to live, meaning Vladimir Putin has forfeited his right to live. Last word.
I think that what would be most interesting about that conversation is to ask those generals.
Okay, well, whatever. I don't really give a shit what Sean Penn thinks, but although I am fascinated by whatever turn this is, and do actually wonder what connections he has to the government. Regardless, so Sean Hannity calling for the assassination of George W. Bush.
Right. That's what I took out of it as well. Yeah.
I mean, this is like what was so Trump did this too, talking about the assassination of the Iranian general Soleimani. He's a war criminal. That's what they said. Oh, but he's also a government official. So Trump dropped the mother of all bombs, killed a bunch of people within the first month or two of him being in office, killed a young girl in a raid at his direction. That's what the United States did. That's a war crime. I mean, and Bush committed war crimes many times over. Condoleezza Rice, Dick Cheney. I mean, go down the list of the people that could be charged with war crimes here in the United States. And Hannity's going even further, saying that they have the right to be assassinated as well. And like, also the implications of what they're saying here too is, I mean, he's a jagoff TV host. I don't really take it that seriously when it's just coming from him. But the fact that it was echoed by people like Lindsey Graham, that is there are hawks that think that would be like a productive way to take out Putin. And then there are people on the other side of the war hawk coin who are a little more subtle about it, like Hillary Clinton, basically insinuating that this could be a way to slowly bleed out Putin, using this war in Ukraine as a proxy to weaken him on the national stage. That means Ukrainian bodies and lives in order to do so. It's just like they treat this as like going after and getting the big bad. And it's really sick.
Well, I mean, you can't say that stoking proxy wars between people in Russia by America in the past has ever led to anything bad happening. So, I think that just precedent wise, there's no reason to be so dismissive of it. I can't think of one incident where American armed proxy fighters and instead to resist Russia led to anything bad happening, on a global scale, but just in America at all. Not once.
Yeah, I think it, like Lindsey Graham particularly, like I think if you are going to go down that lane of asking for assassination of leaders of other state governments, that you open yourself up to those same things. I think that's like that's the level of responsibility that needs to be applied here to people like Lindsey Graham or even like Sean Penn. Like this idea that we're floating the idea that we should, even like the war crimes like stuff, that we're actually going to like end this by bringing Putin into the Hague. Like, no, all that does is push settlement to this conflict farther into the distance. So like the idea that decapitation strike against Russia is even like on the
yeah.
Like, anybody who brings that up, they should have the same thing come back to them.
All right, which one you want to do?
I will say that back to the Sean Penn, because that's who I'm right there with you. I'm fascinated by what's going on here. I met him once. He came to when I was in film school. He came to the school to do a talk.
Wow.
And dude's got a huge ego. Huge.
Oh man.
We met we had James Gandolfini come. We had Christina Ricci come, a bunch of celebrities who at that time were like really big, and everyone super down to earth, nice, very wanting to be there to help the students learn something. Sean Penn, just huge ego, the guy. First thing he does, by the way, and this is like right when like the New York City no smoking inside, like indoors laws just like had passed, and like it was a really big deal like at that time, like you can't do it.
Yeah.
First thing he does is sits down and starts smoking on a cigarette in the school. It's like, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? He was like just a huge ego, like his whole talk. Not Spicoli. I'll tell you that much.
How was Christina Ricci? Because I'm a huge fan.
She was really cool. I got a picture with her. She took a picture with me. I got a picture with her. Yeah.
Love her in Sleepy Hollow. Love her in Cursed with Jesse Eisenberg. And also the guy who plays Jesse in Gilmore Girls, whose name I can't remember right now.
Jess.
I also got a picture of James Gandolfini. So yeah, the only guy who wasn't taking photos was Sean Penn.
Oh,
that's not shocking.
He's not going to smelt his Academy Award either.
And he should.
He got it for playing Harvey Milk, I think. That's what he won it for.
Yeah, you're right.
I was an extra in the movie Mona Lisa Smile as a child. Which has Julia Roberts, Julia Stiles, Kirsten Dunst, some big names. The Julia Roberts would not take a photo with 7-year-old little girl me, even though the part of the scene that she was in my house. Like she was sitting in my living room because they filmed it in my house, and that's how we got cast as extras. Anyway, so because it was an old house. So anyway, yeah. And then I ended up being the flower girl and Kirsten Dunst sweating in that movie. So you can see me as like a
whoa. Wait a minute. You're in this movie?
Yes.
I gotta, can we really see you?
I have a photo somewhere on my phone. Maybe I'll send it to Bradley. And while we're taking a call, I'll try to find it. We can put it up on the screen. There's one way you can see me in the background. There's a whole shot of my mother. Who's very beautiful and looks wonderful in it. But anyway, that's a story for a different day.
What are you talking about? This is the fun half. This is literally the time
I gotta go on my phone and find this stuff.
I was most recently featured. I was actually just about to rewatch Mona Lisa Smile. It's funny enough because it's always being recommended to me by streaming apps, and now I know why. Google has become terrifying.
It's pretty corny. All right, I'll see if I can find it. But let's take a call.
If Netflix recommended it to you under like the very specific category of like movies your MR co-host is in, then I would have been like, whoa, what's going on?
I don't think I got a credit. I have no lines.
I'll pause the movie at the credit scene and I'll just like write on my screen in a Sharpie.
Oh yeah, you don't get credit if you don't have a line. So
no.
Yeah, that's how it works. I was doing extra stuff back in the day, so I recall that. Yeah, there is a very good shot where Elliot Stabler and what's her face, Olivia Benson from SVU are standing next to each other, and they start walking down a hall, and there I am, right in the middle of them in the background. You just see me.
I was most recently featured in a Vice documentary about a barbecue place. And by featured, I mean I was in line at the place and they like did a panning shot. I think they got me in it. So look out for that.